Hey folks out there, we are back with the Opinionated thoughtbotter. My name is Svenja. I'm a developer and team lead at thoughtbot, and with me today is Sally. Hey, welcome, Sally.
Hello, good to be here.
Yeah, it's really nice having you. So today we're going to talk about one of your opinions.
Hmm.
For now, only one.
I
So,
have so many.
of course, let us know what is your opinion we're going to talk about.
I believe that we don't need to be any more productive than we already are, and certainly not the way AI tries to make us more productive.
Okay, I really like the uh,
Yeah,
how do you say that?
the air
Quotation?
quotes.
Yeah, the air quotes. I think, in my opinion, I agree. But to me, productivity is such a buzzword. I don't like. I do think we need to clarify what productivity means to you, because when I hear, especially in regards to AI, productivity is only takes care of it. Oh, you need to be faster, you need to develop faster. And it's more like an euphemism for a person who develops or works faster. How do you think,
Yeah,
well, about that?
yeah. I think about productivity as like the aim to do more or to make more or produce more than what you're doing now. And I mean, every time I think about this, I get stuck in the trap of like capitalism requires that, which is, a whole other rant I could go on. Is that like, grow or die, and I hate that. But like I don't understand what problem we're trying to solve with productivity tools, because it's not like we don't have enough software in the world, right? Go in the App Store, search for
Yes.
literally anything, you're going to find more apps than you can choose from. And I'm not saying like we should stop making software. I do enjoy being employed and, being able to buy food and things like that. But I think the idea that the value that you get out of a person working or from a project or a team is more stuff being made, even if that stuff is digital stuff, um, is absurd.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely agree. It's just like, um I mean, there's a saying, you don't have to invent the wheel again and again,
Right. Yeah.
right? But it's like, but on the other side, you don't have to have like 10 cars. You don't have to
Right.
have
You can
10
only drive one
tools
car at a
like to do
time.
one thing, right? It's just like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. And it's, I mean, every time I think about this or talk to anybody about it, the answer comes down to because money, which I hate. But like I really just don't understand what problem we're trying to solve by coding faster, because I don't think the speed with which developers can write a feature or fix a bug is at all related to the value that the company they're working for gets out of it. Like,
Exactly, because being faster, coding faster, like finishing, right, a project faster doesn't mean that it lasts longer or that it will be cheaper in the long run. Because, well, when you just like throw everything in, you just like develop it, okay, and it's not an MVP, because then it comes like, oh, what do you want, what's the actually need, do you want to have an MVP? Of course it's faster than like the fully built application. But if someone just like takes, oh no, everybody can build a MVP, or it's my final product, but what happens afterwards? You don't care about like legal backgrounds. You don't care about quality, about bugs, what is allowed, what isn't allowed. You just
and
like
whether or not you should have even
completely
built
lack
it in
of
the first place.
quality. Yes,
Like, just
yes.
because you can make something doesn't mean you should make it.
Oh, I love that.
And
Yes.
I think it feels like we got fancy new hammers and we're all desperately running around looking for nails to use them on when we don't actually have a problem to solve with them. And I think that the friction of development without AI is an important part of the process, right? So, like, if a client asks you for something that seems useless or absurd or just the wrong thing altogether, and it's going to take you a week to build it, you're really motivated to push back and be like, I don't know that this is actually the right thing to do. Right. And the client is motivated to reduce their costs. So if you tell them this is going to take me way longer than you thought it would for me to do it, they're likely to be like, okay, that's actually not worth the return on investment, and let's not do it. And so if we got these AI tools that allow us to write something faster, that looks like it has satisfied the requirements of the client, then there's less of a reason to push back and say, hey, I don't know that this is really going to get you the value that you want. It's the path of least resistance becomes make the crappy, useless feature that you think is a bad idea. And so it's just easier to, use your agent to make that really fast. And like, maybe you don't even fully understand it, but it basically does what you're asking it to do. So, and then you move on. Whereas I think it's just as important the things you decide not to add to software as the things you decide to add to software.
Yes. I think it comes down to consulting, to communication, and to really care about what you produce. And I do think like this care just like gets lost on the way, and now sooner, because if you stop thinking about an implementation, or is it really needed? Because, any agent gives you an answer. Oh, brilliant idea. You are onto something. And it's just like, okay, it's wrong. It's wrong. No, I want to use my brain, and I do want to feel fulfilled when I code. And I do want to have problems. I don't want, if everything is simple.
It's so boring when everything is easy.
And I don't trust it. It's the same like when I write a test, and the test, for whatever reason, is green on first try. Something is wrong.
Right. Yeah, I didn't write the test right.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And that's it. But that's exactly what you get when you add any prompt to any agent. You get an answer.
And it's also often way more complicated than it needs to be. And it's really, really difficult to take something that an agent produced that is really complex and make it simpler and cleaner, especially if you don't totally understand why the agent did what they did, which is often the case because it makes weird decisions. And then you're adding complexity to a code base that doesn't need it. You're adding lines of code, which some metric somewhere might be really excited about, but we know that every single line of code is a liability. And you're making it unnecessarily complex in order to add a feature that somebody thinks is valuable, but most likely hasn't even been tested. And then maybe will never even get used.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are we doing this? We don't need more of all of this stuff. We need better things. It's like, I don't need 20 pairs of jeans. I need 1 or 2 pairs of jeans that fit well and will last.
Yes. The last.
We don't need 40,000 features in this software. We need, a handful of features that do what actually needs to be done and do it reliably and well.
I agree heavily with it. Coming back to productivity, what do we need in order, or you said like we are productive enough. Why?
Well, I think there is enough of everything in the world to take care of everybody, right? It's like we don't actually not have enough food for everybody. We just aren't distributing it the right ways. And so any solution to hunger
or water, yes.
Yeah. Any solution to hunger is like, let's make more food. It's like, well, just having more of it doesn't fix people's access to it or the quality of it or, the ability for it to treat or prevent disease or whatever. Like just more crap that the same 10% of people have doesn't actually fix any problems. I don't know. I think there are certain places where increasing productivity is a good idea, right? So if I work in a bakery and we make delicious donuts and we sell out of those donuts at 10 a.m. every day, then our customers that don't get enough donuts are sad. And we're sad because we have to close early. And I guess, we could have made more money or whatever. And so if I find a way that we can make good quality donuts faster and make more of them, sure. That's solving a problem. The problem is we don't have enough donuts for all the people who want them. But I've never encountered a software problem that is fixed by coding faster. And I know that some people, especially in the business side or the project management side, will be like, well, if we can make things faster, then we can fit more scope in for the same budget. And it's like, well, maybe you can fit more scope in for the same budget, but you don't know if it's the right scope or not. Right? So you can build twice as many features, but then once you get it out there and the users start using it, you realize half of those features aren't right and you've missed a really crucial thing that maybe you would have found if you had worked a little slower.
if you would have communicated with each other, and if you don't get lost of the bigger picture. Like, what do you actually want to achieve, and why do you want to achieve it? It's not mostly, I don't think it's what, it's just like why. So why do you need it? And
Yeah.
I just like when you said there's nothing good will come out of coding faster. And it's just like think like AI is kind of like fast food for fast tech. And it's just like fast food is also not good. It doesn't help anything or anyone. It's
well, there's a place for it because there are people who do not have the money or time or access or resources to cook their own food, right? So I wouldn't discount fast food entirely personally, but if you're starving, fast food is better than nothing.
I meant like the big chains, like
okay, yeah.
Like when you just like go to, I don't. Of course, it's nice if you just like can drive through, and I would sometimes really like that if there would be more vegan options. But at the same time, I don't need lots of time to prepare a really good lunch. Just like watermelon, and just like something that I got here. I'm in Spain, by the way, and it's really that hot here at the moment. So it higher, better in nutritions. I know where it comes from, and it's just like I can make it in 10 minutes. Or if I use a car, go drive somewhere. Maybe I would work in an office. But yeah, if there's not a problem, like speed never is a solution.
Yeah.
More structured, more a higher quality, fewer bugs.
That popped into my head yesterday that I'm going to start saying all the time is more thought, less bot.
Yes.
I think actually podcasts are a great example of this. Like in theory, you could record an episode of this every single day, right? Like given the right tools and resources, you could record an episode of this podcast every single day and put them out every single day. But why would you do that? What would be the purpose of that? Would they be better? Would people get more value out of it if it was happening more? I argue that people would maybe be overwhelmed and stop listening altogether.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to listen to my voice.
Well, yes. I mean, yeah, but I think just in general, like just because something is good doesn't mean more of it is better.
Yeah. How could we become more productive? Let's say, because as you said, like productivity or striving to become more productive is not bad per se, right? There can be
if you're solving
good
a problem
reasons
with your productivity, a problem that is not my boss's boss's boss wants more money, right? That's not actually a problem.
Yes. But what is needed to become sustainable productive? Why doesn't speed play a role or coding faster in order to become productive or to be productive? What do you think?
Because we're not code factories, right? A developer writes code as a way of solving a problem. And writing more code without solving more problems is not actually more value, right? The value of a developer is a lot of things, and especially a consultant developer. It's, the easiest one to point to is you wrote a feature and now there's a feature. You fixed a bug and now there's a bug. But the bigger pieces of value are you solved a problem, or you helped us think about our users and the way our users are interacting with this in a way that made this a better experience for them. Or you helped us realize that the reason nobody is using this page is because or the reason, our hosting bill is really high is because we have all of these things happening in the background that actually don't do anything for anybody. We have a Slack channel called the Dead Code Society where we celebrate PRs that remove a lot of code from a code base, because often that's a sign that that code base is now cleaner and more efficient and more useful and more valuable. Like any good developer will tell you that the measure of quality is not size of a code base. Right. I feel like there's this quote that I should really figure out who said it, because I think about it all the time and I can't remember it, but my 10th grade history teacher told us, was the idea of like, sorry, this letter is so long, I haven't had time to make it shorter. Right? And I feel like the way that AI increases productivity is to increase the amount of code you're writing. And I've often noticed that it seems as though it's incentivized to write more code. Like it often does something in like 30 lines that could be done in 2. But the value is not in the number of lines of code. It is in what you wrote and why, or like why you wrote it and what it's solving. Ugh, I feel like it's the end of the week and I've run out of words. But,
it is. Yeah, no,
you know,
I
like
agree. Yeah.
editing something down to the core of what it needs to be and not having a bunch of superfluous crap lying around makes things better almost all the time.
I think
right? Do you want to watch a 4-hour movie with a bunch of boring bits in it or things that don't make sense or don't contribute to the plot? Or do you want to watch a 2-hour movie where every moment of the movie is interesting and valuable?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It probably takes longer to turn that movie into a 2-hour one. And so if we were measuring the value of a movie by how long is it, right? We're actually going to get some pretty crappy films.
Yes.
And so if we're measuring the output, the value of a developer's work by how much code did you write, we're going to get some crappy code. But I think that's what AI is pushing us towards. I haven't seen a lot of people be excited about AI because it makes them write better code at the same speed or slower. I've mostly seen people be excited about AI because it helps them write code faster.
Like for the one who uses it to write the code, it appears to be faster. But then for the one who doesn't use it and review the code, it just like takes longer because before there was a brain behind who wrote the code. They wrote it for a reason, be it good code or not. But now there's no reasoning behind anymore. And then you're just like, what do you think when you wrote that code? Now I have to think for a machine and the person who just like wrote it, and I can't trust it anymore. So I lose trust in everything in the code that was written with AI.
And like, good job, you made it a little bit faster. So why did you do that? What good came out of that? And if the only good you can come up with is it was faster, it's like, this is not
the people who don't understand
it.
For the people who don't understand the code that I wrote, there are always comments. This is just like every time. No, I just like see it like every time when someone uses AI, everything, especially like views, so commented. Oh, this is a partial for that. Sorry, I know that this was not written by a human. So just like no.
And I feel like we understand that faster isn't better in a lot of places, right? Like you were just talking about fast food. We all know that fast food does not taste as good and is not as healthy as food that is prepared more mindfully and slowly. It is, I mean, it's cheaper. There's that. But like, that's not an argument. Nobody thinks that just because you made the food faster, it is now higher value food. Right? And the same with art. I'm not a painter. I don't know. But I do know that if you painted a painting faster than some other guy, that would be meaningless to me as a person viewing the art, right? I don't care. I care about what it is and how it makes me feel and all of that.
Yes.
And nobody's arguing that faster, well, maybe some people are, but they shouldn't. Like, you know, I feel like generally we understand that producing art faster doesn't make it better. The only people who are benefiting from us being more productive and making more things are the people at the top who own the things and who can pay you less and sell it for more. And I cannot think of a single path that starts with we should be more productive and use AI and doesn't end with so somebody who is rich can be a little bit richer.
Yes, but only for a specific amount of time, right? Because I mean, it will all go back. It will all come back to us. I mean, like everything that was written with AI and then AI native and all that. I mean, go for it, but the quality lags. And then if you have good developers know when they review a PR or whatever, what to look out for, code smells, etc. But someone who just like uses AI, but they don't. And over time, the more we use or the tech scene uses AI and relies on AI so heavily, knowledge will get lost because you don't like I think like the collaboration goes backwards. You don't ask a colleague who might have some knowledge. You're gonna ask the machine and then you get a crappy answer. That sounded absolutely correct. I think that's the biggest issue. But ChatGPT says,
Like, no, it doesn't. It's just a predictive, like it's just a machine that guesses what the most reasonable answer might sound like. I feel like we're headed to a place where everything we make is going to be the IKEA of code, right? There won't be good code anymore, and we will just accept that all code is a little bit crappy and breaks a lot, and you just have to go fully replace it every few years, like you would if you bought all of your furniture at IKEA because it's particle board and will fall apart. And short term, that's cheaper. Long term, you've now had to buy 6 tables when my table that I spent more time making or finding or purchasing is still working, right? And so like you might be able to produce this one shitty piece of software for your new startup, but nobody's going to be using it in 5 years, and you're going to have to throw it away and build a new one. Whereas if you were building it thoughtfully and slowly and carefully, then you might be building something that lasts and that is worth maintaining. Yeah, here we go. The way AI generated code turns out makes it not worth maintaining. And then we throw it away and start over. And so we've got a whole lot of crappy things instead of fewer good things.
I love that. Yes, I agree. You can't maintain it. And again, I do think quality is important. And when you just like think about like, like most of the people have banking apps on their phone. Like, how do you feel when your banking app got written by AI? Do you trust it?
No.
So no, I don't want it. Like back in the days, you knew, oh, maybe something just like got messed up or whatever. But now it's like it's not. It's yeah, I don't know. I want to work in an environment where you get supported to take risk. And I think this is productive. Like taking risks, being supported by it, that you can actually be bold and just like really say, okay, that's an idea I have. I want to try it. It might fail, but I do have the support because I do have the knowledge about it. It's not something that a machine told me to do. I just like, I have that idea. I'm going to try it. And I know I have the support. I bring the quality, I bring the time, and I bring the passion for it. And I think just like given a few more months or years, the passion just like will go down and down and down because it's not you who crafts a code anymore, it's a machine. And
yeah, there are people who are passionate about baking from scratch. There probably aren't very many people who are passionate about working in a bread factory.
Exactly.
I don't want to work in a bread factory. I would love to bake from scratch. Same. I don't want to work in a code factory. I would love to craft code that solves problems well.
I do feel we are a little bit in our bubble. I really love our bubble.
Yeah.
I'm very happy you can be in the bubble. So, yes.
I do acknowledge when I talk about this that, like, I am also a person who likes making lots of things from scratch. I made this shirt. I'm very proud of it. It took a lot longer than it would have to go to Old Navy and buy it. And I know that that's not everybody's attitude. And so, of course, I'm going to lean more towards the slow, careful, quality way, because that's just the kind of thing I like to do. But I think we all have a little bit of that in us somewhere. Humans feel good about making things themselves.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. What can we do?
Keep talking loudly about it and pushing back.
Yes.
And or move to the woods and, yeah, avoid computers altogether. But that one feels a little extreme. I do like being able to, connect with people on the other side of the world via a computer. So,
like what we do right now, right?
Yes. I mean, we're on different continents.
Yes, exactly. I'm positive. So I'm motivated. I'm positive. I do think I still enjoy so much to bring in quality. Sometimes it's demotivating, but I still feel like it's so good when I know something. It feels so good to just like support and see other people grow. So my absolute passion, and this is like to help them identify, is this, maybe you can rewrite this is a code.
Yeah. Learning and discovering and all of that is such a big part of what's fun about coding.
Yeah, I agree. I still have hope. So
I do too.
I do think we are very, as I said, very productive. We don't need AI for that. And it's not faster, it's not always the solution. Thank you so much, Sally. We talked
it's always fun to talk to you.
An hour already. I mean, I can continue talking. one of my hard topics. It's like, oh, yeah. I think it's so important. But yeah, people out there, your first step should be to ask your colleagues if you don't know something, and then you learn it together instead of asking the machine. Especially in a remote world, collaboration is so important, to talk with each other, not about each other and not with the machine. And that keeps you so productive, in my opinion.
I'm on board.
Thank you so much, Sally. Thanks, everyone. Let us know how you feel about being productive or AI in general. And see you next time.
Sounds
Bye-bye.
good. Bye.